couple of years ago, you posted a photo of you and Jade Cargill. Did you train
Yeah.
her? I didn't realize you were
No, no,
friends.
no. Diamond Dallas Page lives real close to me here in Georgia, and I often go to his house and we work out together and stuff. And when we work out together, there's often a lot of other wrestlers that join us, from AEW or WWE, and he does a really intense kind of his own version of a yoga mixed martial arts workout. It's a great workout. And Jade was there that particular day that I was there. And we've had Darby Allin, we've had Big Kaz, we've had a lot of guys that show up, and it's a lot of fun, man. Especially when you have the camaraderie and the workout's tough, so you all get in there and really knock it out, and it's a lot of fun, especially when it's over.
Do you ever give tips as far as wrestling goes to the people who are coming through? Or is this purely like a fitness thing?
You know what? There's been some people that have asked me to watch their match and just kind of critique it, which I don't mind doing. I don't watch a lot of wrestling anymore, and it's not because I don't like it or anything. It's just I've been so busy with my programs and stuff. And one of the things I spend a lot of time is answering a lot of messages from students that write to me from all the present. Remember, before the pandemic, I averaged 230 events a year for 7 years straight.
Okay.
And then the pandemic came, and then we were doing, virtual presentations from our studio, and now we're just getting back out there again. And but I've cut my schedule way down. Even so, when I say way down, people would say, "Well, you're doing like 130, 140 events a year still," which is some people might think is a lot, but when you're so used to when you're wrestling with WWE and you're doing 250 events a year, and then of course then going into speaking and doing 230 events a year, it's like part of your life. It's almost like I've been living out of a hotel for 30 years of my life. It's just incredible.
Do you get like institutionalized in the sense that if you have to be home for a prolonged period of time, you get itchy to get back out on the road?
That's a great question, James. And what's really strange about that is I really enjoy that time I have at home. And because when you're out in public all the time, and remember, when I speak at schools, they part of my presentation is if someone wants to meet Mark after the presentation, almost the whole school stays, and the lines are so long, and kids want to give you a hug, a high five, or tell you part of their story about depression or anxiety or being bullied or abused or something. So I spend a lot of time doing that, and you're always on. You know what I mean? Man, I can't have a kid see me down and out or something. You're on. You know what I mean? It's like, so when you get to come home, I got this little dog. It's a Maltese Yorkie, a Morkie, I rescued. It's 14 years old, and I just love being home with that little dog. I know I don't have a lot of time left with my dog, Rocco, but the time I have when I'm home, man, I don't often go anywhere other than maybe grab dinner or something like that. But I really enjoy being home. And then it's like Wednesday I leave for Las Vegas. Then the following week I'm coming to see you guys in the UK and to Manchester. And then we go on to Savannah, Georgia, Ohio. It's like just a nonstop tour.
Do you in fact, when you go back to the wrestling career, and obviously so much traveling happens, who were the first guys? Two questions, really. Who were the first guys to take you under their wing, as it were, and show you the ways of the world as far as, getting from one town to another, or the little tricks of surviving on the road? And who are your best friends as far as travel partners in your 10 or so year full-time career?
Yeah, well, before I was married, obviously it was the crazy time in WCW. I was living with, remember Mark Hildreth, Van Hammer?
Yeah.
I was living with him. So we traveled a lot together. Buff Bagwell, we traveled a lot together. And then Alex Wright came in as a really young man, and we took him under our wing, and he was one of the best guys to travel with, man. He was so much fun because he was just learning English, and he would end up at a his body was really beat up, and he didn't really understand a lot of American ways and stuff. So he would say at the hotel, I remember one time he wanted to take the car and just get a massage, and he ended up at a massage parlor that asked him for a happy ending, and he didn't really understand all that. Oh no, I'm sorry. He thought it was a tanning place. because they did have tanning. Okay.
Right.
And so he wanted to go get a tan. That was the whole thing. They realized they could do a massage. And that's when he found out that it was not the massage he thought he wanted to get. Although he didn't go through with it. I don't
I was
want
going to say maybe he did want to get it. I mean, there's got to be a universal hand sign to convey that message.
Yeah, so we had a lot of laughs with him. He was, and to this day, we keep in touch, and just a great guy.
Yep,
But I remember another story when Kevin Nash was there, Scott Hall was there, and we would drive together. And I remember one time, I believe it was Diamond Dallas Page, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, myself. We were driving to a town, and it was so amazing. Whenever I hear Kevin Nash do a interview, he's got the most incredible memory of where it was, the name of the venue, and I don't know how he remembers all that stuff, you know. But anyways, we were going to a town. Let's just say the town was 2.5 hour drive. Okay, we get in the rental car. We're driving, and I can't remember who was navigating because I don't want to blame it on anybody. But we were driving 2.5 hours, and all of a sudden we're like about a half hour out, and it's saying, you know, we were trying to find the venue. We drove 2 hours the wrong way. Now we got to go back 4 hours to get to the venue, and we're not going to make it. Okay, so we're calling them and telling them we drove the wrong way, and I can't remember who was in the main event, but they were getting ready in the car, putting their boots on and everything, and they got out of the car and went right to the ring. But the rest of us couldn't even wrestle that day because we didn't make it in time.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember if it's a story I heard with Mr. Fuji, who would purposely give someone the wrong address just for them to drive the wrong way 2 hours, and then he would tell them. But he'd rib himself just as much as everyone else.
There's a lot of ribs in professional wrestling.
Quite a few people asked for your favourite UK stories travelling with WCW and WWF, and basically just how much trouble you got in back in the day.
Let's see. You know, there was one UK story where I didn't go on the bus with the guys because Marcus Bagwell brought his wife, and I brought my wife, Rena, on the tour. Actually, I think she was my girlfriend at the time. We weren't even married yet. I can't remember the exact date, but we rented a car and we were driving all around, and we went to a lot of I guess it's hard to say, like crazy places, you know, that we were just going to nightclubs or bars or some places. Like when we got to Amsterdam, we went to some places that I would never attend now. Okay, let's just put it that way. Okay, remember, this is the old Marc Mero, but you know, Bagwell was really crazy. So he was like the kind of the ringleader of let's go here, let's do this, and let's do that. You know, so without getting into a lot of detail, we just went to some really crazy places.